Three qualifiers, ladies and gentlemen. One thing to discuss real quick for the format of today. These are all best of ones between the players individually. There's no best of three scenario where Jjakji's fighting against Ruff. It's a best of one individually. So it's very easy and very likely and very possible that anyone can get knocked out due to some cheese, due to a macro game, whatever. But it's a best of 9 between these two teams. And it's currently tied up now 2-2. I'm Ripken, joined today by Zombie Grub. And Zombie Grub, would you mind starting off the introductions?
In the top left position, it is the red Terran, Jjakji for mYinsanity.
And his opponent to the lower right, taking a much earlier guess than his opponent, it's going to be from IVD, Ruff. Now, we were discussing a little bit before, we'll put it for the sake of the VOD, so it's going to be repetitive to those on stream, but Ruff is a very talented Terran player. I've seen him play Standard, I've seen him play Macro, I had the pleasure of casting him for the Lake Sign event not too long ago as well. He's a pretty good Terran player, but he's best known for his weird builds. Now, whether you call them cheesy, whether you call them creative, the reality is he's not your typical Terran.
Yeah, that's definitely true. If his openings aren't atypical, then just his playstyle is. I guess he's like... There are some players out there that everyone knows as being really creative and doing things that are kind of like, I guess, cutting edge originality.
Starbuck.
You know, like TLO.
Yeah, TLO, Starbuck, Ruff,
Yeah,
these are people that come to mind.
Yeah, the most obvious one, right? Ruff does some really interesting, kind of smart things, but he just doesn't get the recognition for it, mostly because he's not, you know, in WCS.
Yeah, he's not winning Like, he might win versus a WCS quality player, but that's usually not something that's broadcasted on like a main tournament stage, so he doesn't get the spotlight shined upon him, so to speak.
Yeah, and gone to the days where, you know, Team Liquid and Scred or whatever would talk about foreigners all day long. Now it's only the foreigners that beat the Koreans that get talked about. Those were the days. Cheering on Idra, MLG, and Huck, I suppose.
Old school is old school. Now, with the earlier gas from Ruff, I mean, as we see, it gets this factory up a little bit quicker, but it's not like anything too crazy. The big difference, and the main difference, is the reactor coming down on top of this barracks. So if Jjakji's going to open up with that defensive Raven again, and Ruff comes at him with like a Hellion drop, it's going to actually be really irritating to deal with. And Ruff, is he going to be proxying Starport?
Looks like he is. No, he turned. There you go.
Okay, that could just be some weird scout pathing then.
Yeah, I guess so. Just make sure that he's not... I don't know. The chance of being scouted actually on your... Oh, well, there we go. That's an odd place to put it. Jjakji could technically scout over there just by having a Viking, you know, patrolling the outer rims of his base, something like that. That's why you usually see it at that other base.
I like this out of Ruff. He saw exactly the way Jjakji played against Apocalypse. And this is going to be one of the weaknesses of a player who goes Raven first. If Jjakji goes Banshee first, that's different.
Okay, so he also noticed that Jjakji didn't wall off. If you don't wall off, Hellion openers can be very, very strong because you just get in there, and even if they have enough Marines or they finally get a tank out to take down the Hellions, they just take down the SCVs faster if you get enough. Now, the wall off right there is what is okay now, but once Ruff gets that Banshee out, then actually he gets a Viking.
The strength of the Marines walled off like this, quote-unquote walled off, is the fact that you don't have that high ground vision. By bringing the barracks over here, and this is critical, guys, it's going to actually allow the Hellions to engage the Marines, whereas otherwise they wouldn't be able to run up that ramp blindly. Now he's going to luck out and catch Jjakji in a very bad position. Hellions run right by everything, get some Marine kills right off the bat. SCVs are immediately pulled into this, but Jjakji has taken some losses early on, and Ruff gets in here with quite a few worker kills already. The Viking coming out is going to camp on top of this. Hell, it can land if it needs to, but it can't sit there because the Marines will shoot it down.
Oh, this is pretty important. He can take down the Raven. Oh, it goes down.
If you were able to snipe off that Raven for free, that would have been huge. But it goes back in for more SCV kills. Now, this looks really good for Ruff, guys, but keep in mind, he cut workers to make this work, so he's only really evened up the score so far. But Jjakji's going to have a hell of a time dealing with these Hellions.
I think the threat has passed.
Mostly been subsided.
I really wish that Ruff had gone for a Banshee. I think Jjakji was expecting it. That's why he had his Marines moving around at all, was that he was expecting a Banshee to, you know, come in and attack somewhere. But I just think it's really powerful. He chose to go for the Viking, a proxy Viking. He does get the tech off now, so maybe a secondary... No.
Chances of putting that back. Okay, so he's going to elevator the Hellions out for round 2. I mean, that's kind of what I was expecting the start of this to be, rather than the follow-up.
Yeah, if you're gonna proxy a starport and not a Banshee, it would be for a medevac drop.
You would assume
Proxy
at least, but again,
Viking
it's Ruff.
Yeah, right. Apparently, proxy Viking's a thing for him.
I like this. Get the barracks over here for scouting. I mean, even if it just draws the attention of the Marines for a little bit, but of course, Jjakji's looking to push out a little bit. Ruff trying to catch this, and he will catch this, and these Marines just line it up so perfectly for the Hellions.
Yeah, very nice shots coming out from Ruff. The medevac it's out. It's with a Viking. It's taking down all the units that Jjakji has, and Jjakji, I guess he's not fearing any attack in his own base, is rattling everything out. Oh, if he could get his Hellions over to the medevac, he'd do a lot of damage.
But well, he can't even do that though, because if he brings the Hellions over, then he's got no defense for this push that he clearly knows is coming.
Even 2 Hellions. Okay, that's what he's doing.
But it's
sending out 4 Hellions.
Okay, I do like this segment of a small amount, because the reality is, once those siege tanks siege, Ruff has no way of dealing with it.
Yeah, you get enough. Again, if you get enough Hellions, you can actually surround a tank and deal with that contain. But it's a lot of Hellions.
Easier said than done, yeah. But you're right, with everything rallied out of the base, even that siege tank just leaves. There's one single auto turret that's about to expire. It's the only thing guarding this mineral line. Now, Jjakji has lifted his own Marines up to the base here, and Ruff's actually supply block. This is part of me for saying it. This is going to be rough for him to hold. I do regret phrasing, but meanwhile, Jjakji's going to lose a lot of SCVs. 2 Marines are all that there are to defend at the moment, and this medevac can help these guys escape into dire situation. But Jjakji says, I got a tank. I'm in a pretty strong spot.
He has to lift that factory.
He does.
Definitely
he can't afford to lose
now.
this. It might actually burn. Marines are going to give chase to it.
That's his only production.
Really
His barracks is
He's not repairing it. Factory goes down. And now Ruff's got nothing to deal with this at home. The main base is going to get cleaned up. Jjakji has stabilized in this game. And what looked like it could have been in Ruff's favor for a moment, guys, for a glimpse of victory, Ruff will lose his main. He will lose this game. And Jjakji will lead this series now 3-2 in the favor of mYinsanity. Not giving up. Not giving up, though.
Well, okay, you should have not given up before you lost the command center.
Yeah, like the SCV pull. This is gonna, I don't know, strange to see, but all the workers going down here. And that's pretty much game. He's got a cloaked Banshee and cloak on the way, but yeah, there we go. Good game. Good game.